Ever wonder about life's mysteries and how what we may not be aware of could be affecting the outcomes of we here on Earth? With permission from Dr. Paul Leon Masters, founder of the University of Sedona, I'd like to share with you one of his mystical insights. Dr. Masters' mystical insights are based on over 50 years of consciousness research with thousands of his students. Today's subject is based on his conclusions after half a century of research. The subject is on to know everything, admit to knowing nothing. There's nothing so ignorant as the personal ego that believes it knows something or anything about the reality of life. The personal ego is itself a figment of the mind's illusion and imagination that has been created from one's limited physical sense perceptions. Individuals have come to believe that it exists and has actual reality. How can anything that is of itself a non-reality even begin to attempt to grasp the actual reality of what life really is, both on a universal scale and miniaturized down to an individual? The personal ego binds and restricts an understanding of life as a whole and an individual's relationship to life. Oftentimes, one person sensing that another person is being deluded about something will exclaim, "Get real." But how can individuals really get real if what they have to work with, their personal egos, are unreal in and of themselves? This truth is brought up in the following biblical verse: "He who loses himself," that is the personal ego, "for my sake," that is universal consciousness or God, "finds himself," that is that truth about God within, self, reality, Christ, self, mind, or consciousness of Christ. When a person has finally discarded the illusionary sense of the personal ego's unreality, the consciousness is free to experience universal Christ, Buddha, or Krishna awareness of the reality of life, the true relationship of individual human creation and existence to the greater totality of the will of God. Till such time, the mind or consciousness within the individual wanders amongst shadowy images within itself, believing that the images are reality and remaining unaware that to have shadows, there must be light. The light that to the mystic is the light of creation or God. If truth be ultimately known, the world or physical plane earthly life is but a mixture of shadows. Science as it currently exists is an attempt to classify and understand shadows rather than to search more directly into the light source, or life itself. Very few of today's scientists are exceptions to this. Only those few that are God-motivated from within themselves is able to discover the ultimate first cause. To awaken to universal consciousness, where ultimate reality and one's relationship to it can be known, necessitates the admission by one's very soul that the imaginary I, or personal self in truth, knows nothing in regard to life and is speculating only on the meaning of shadows. Only when a soul truly knows its reason for existing can the fulfillment of the soul be achieved, which in truth is God's will individualized. To know everything is to know one's relationship to everything, the universal, eternal beingness of God. To know one's relationship to God is to know one's soul's purpose, or the reason for your being an individualized expression of God's presence. Without such awareness, be it likened to Christ, Buddha, or Krishna, the mind remains a dimly lit room with choices and decisions about life based on shadowy speculations. When life is so founded, it is no wonder that there is so much failure in the human experience to live in happiness and fulfillment. It's not enough to acknowledge intellectually what is written here. That's only a philosophical agreement which still falls under the province of the personal ego. To know everything, God, you must admit to knowing nothing. The Christ mind that was in Jesus alluded to this in the words, "Unless you become as little children," that is stripped of the personal ego's intellect, "you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven," that is the beingness of God consciousness. The choice is to remain a shadowy figure or to step into the light of one's light self. When you are ready, the light will guide you unto itself. Dr. Masters. We will be presenting more of Dr. Masters' mystical insights on the station KUOSFM.com every week. For more free complimentary lectures and insights, click on to the University of Sedona's website at universityofsedona.com.